scrolling through Instagram and I see a picture of Justin Bieber. He's on the cover of GQ. I'm scrolling past it and I'm like, whoa, that ring looks familiar. I zoom in, it's my skull ring, my gold skull ring that he was wearing. And I go to their website and I see on their website it says full credit to Degs and Sal and all that, and I was just flipping. I think I popped a bottle of tequila, maybe chugged the whole thing. It was just the craziest.
Justin Bieber is wearing your ring on the cover of GQ.
When Eddie Shamie was 18 years old, he was putting beads on a string in his grandmother's basement. Through hustle, grit, and determination, Eddie managed to get Degs and Sal into every major New York City department store and landed multiple covers of GQ magazine.
When I graduated high school, my dad actually told me you have two options. He was very chill. He was like, you're either going to work or you're going to college. So I wasn't ready to work at the time. I was like, all right, let's try out college. I was like, all right, well, the only school that will accept me because my grades weren't great, Brookdale Community College. So I went to go try it out. I was there for about 20 to 30 minutes, and then I realized it wasn't for me. And I said, all right, I'm ready for work. And I went to go work by my dad. My dad at the time was selling mortgages. And actually, that's kind of what brought me into Degs and Sal, was starting there. It was actually one night, I was chilling with a bunch of friends and starting to get nice out. We were going to buy a bonfire. I was like, yeah, whatever, I hate this job that I'm doing. I want to do something maybe in fashion. These two kids heard, like, I guess, either a little ambition or I don't know what they heard, but they saw something. They saw something, and they brought up like, hey, you want to be part of Degs and Sal? I'm like, there was nothing. It was an Instagram account and a name. They go to the bead store, they make a bracelet for themselves, and they wear it. And like that's what their initial thing was. Like, maybe we could make Degs and Sal. We'll make the name Degs and Sal, and we'll apply it to this bracelet company or jewelry company that we're trying to make. I was like, okay, let's do it.
You were betting on this idea purely based on the fact that you hate your current job.
Yeah, I guess I was so fed up with my current job that like I would try and make anything work. This was like my first opportunity as an out. Let me see it through.
So after this bonfire, you're like, all right, guys,
let's do it.
I'm ready to start.
I'm ready to start. I'll come in tomorrow to the city at your lunch break. We'll go to these stores, and that's exactly what we did. How are we gonna sell this thing if we're all working a 9-to-5 job and then commuting to the city at the same time? Dude, let's all quit and like we'll go hustle this thing in the streets. We'll fill up backpacks. We'll take samples and we'll just go door to door. There's so many boutique stores in New Jersey. I told them like, listen, if you don't wanna quit, I'll buy you guys out, no problem. Like this is no bad blood. Like right now, it's a zero revenue company.
Right.
We're not, all we have is an LLC together, and that's it. Now, like August, September comes, and it's just me. And I think it was actually that first September, like I got my first order from Gilt, and at the time, we're still manufacturing out of these bead stores in Manhattan. So to fulfill this order, I have to go get the production. I bring a huge suitcase with me. I would walk into these bead stores and just start negotiating with these people. I'd be like, hey, how many strands of the turquoise do you have? They're like, all right, we have 150. All right, how much do you normally sell it for? They're like, I don't know, let's say it was like $10 a strand. I was like, all right, how many, you have 150 strands? I'll take your whole lot, just give it to me for like $4. I would be able to make money on it, and it was great. I would fill up the whole suitcase, walk through the city with it, and go back to Jersey and get to my manufacturing plant.
And then you open up the suitcase, you started in your house, in your bedroom?
Started in my bedroom, and then we outgrew that space because we were, I guess, expanding too much, and we had to move into a new headquarters called my grandmother's basement. The orders were starting to get like a little too big for me to handle, so I would hire friends of mine to like, hey, like, I know you're not working right now, and come, I'll give you like $1 a bracelet. I actually remember the first order on our website. His name was Matthew DeBartolo, and I remember when I got the order, they like leave a phone number in part of like checking out. So I called him and I said like, hey, this is Eddie from Degs and Sal. I just want to thank you for the order. Like, we were first starting out. We got our first order from someone so random that like It wasn't like a family member or like a friend trying to make us feel good, you know? It was, they bought it because they liked the product and that was it. Actually, in 2014, I graduated a small step and moved manufacturing to Mexico, and actually flew to Mexico to start doing sterling silver.
How did you find it for this factory in Mexico?
A trade show. I went to a jewelry trade show. That was actually my first trade show, the MJSA show. I didn't really know what I was even, I think I went with my mom. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. I met this guy, and yeah, they were my manufacturer for years.
You then decided to take on partners.
Yeah. I got an offer to, you know, partner up with these guys, and, you know, they'll help me grow this thing, was the whole concept behind it. And I guess me being young and naive, I was 20, 21 at the time, I was just like, I don't really care what the offer is at this point. I just want to be in the city and, you know, work Degs and Sal somehow, you know? It's like a crossroads. It was just like, maybe this thing is too big for me to handle, and maybe I can't grow it myself, and maybe I do need partners. So I thought that was the best thing to do, and I partnered with them. So they actually came to me and said, like, listen, like, this isn't enough for 3 people, and it's not growing at the speed that we thought it was gonna grow. And I was like, I see that, but you guys also, like, you just basically partnered with me, and I'm running the same exact operation just in your office. So, you know.
Like, what were you expecting?
Yeah, like, if you were supposed to come in and, like, kind of, like, help me lift this thing, and it wasn't like that.
And at this point, this is the middle of your career. You're not so big yet. You're a few
Yeah.
years in. You're
Yeah.
still building.
Still, we're not in any of the retailers. We're still working, like, the gilts and the halt looks.
So 8 months later into the partnership, they said we want to de-escalate.
De-escalating is, if you've ever had partners before, it's never fun. Like, I'm talking when there's, like, inventory involved. The first time it was, like, the initial investment, each guy was like $300. We were 3 months in. It was like, I'm still best friends with both of those guys today.
That was in 2013.
2013, yeah.
That was easy.
That was easy, and I don't even, it's like a blip on the radar. But this was like a real partnership. There was a lot of money involved. There was a lot of inventory involved. There was a lot to talk about and a lot to cover. So it was a big, big blow to me. Confidence-wise also, like, it's just like, if I failed with partners, like, how am I going to do this by myself?
What was bothering you the most? Did you feel like you made a mistake? Did you feel like it was a bad decision?
It was like just all of the above. Like, I felt like it was just like a stupid decision to even partner with them. Like, it just didn't make sense. They're in the shoe business. They know nothing about the jewelry business or high end, which what I was going after. I felt like if I failed with 2 partners, an entire office system behind me, which it was not really like that, but just the concept of it, and I'm in the city, you know, how am I going to do this by myself and grow this thing myself? The work that I had to do for the next, like, 2 months, it was just like work to pay off, like, the inventory that I have to buy back from them, and, like, it was just a nightmare. It just consumed me for like 2-3 months. And now I'm thinking, like, what's gonna be like after I pay off all this stuff and, like, just de-escalate this thing, like, is there gonna be a Degs and Sal? Where do I go from here? Imagine going to work every day and knowing that you're never gonna reap the benefits of whatever work you're gonna do. So it was a big blow, but it was honestly the best lesson that ever happened to me. You know, it taught me to, number one, you don't need partners. That's first of all. You know, if you could do it yourself, you could do it yourself, you know? I didn't need the partners at the time. I don't need the partners now.
How did you bounce back?
So, bouncing back was tough. I remember, actually, while I was de-escalating, I was talking to a factory in Italy. So, I went to Italy by myself, fully solo, and I ended up staying there for actually a full month, like, working in the factory, going back and forth to Florence. And I think once I got back, I, like, had this, like, urgency to, like, really hit retail hard, because I know I have the perfect product now. It's all made in Italy. It's a big selling point now. So now I start really hitting the retailers hard. I met Nordstrom at a trade show. I got their email. I got whatever. I've been following up with them for a while. And I tried to sell them, and I actually lied to them in an email saying that I'm gonna be in Seattle for the day, if they could, like, carve out an hour to just see me and whatever, and I'll just try and sell them. So they agreed because I'm in Seattle. which I wasn't. I actually flew to Seattle. Stayed in a Holiday Inn Express for $100 a night. Woke up the next morning, got excited, got dressed, all excited for my Nordstrom meeting. I bring my samples, everything's nice. I get called into the meeting, and whatever, I thought the meeting went well and everything. They just went dark on me for like, I think it was like 6 months, and then the buyer changed, and I felt like such an idiot that I went all the way to Seattle, flew 5 hours on a plane, spent the night in a Holiday Inn Express, and came home with nothing. It was a terrible, terrible experience, but you know, I said I'm not gonna just stop. If the buyer changes, I'm gonna keep emailing them, and then I keep emailing, and I call, and I keep following up. It was literally years from 2015. I don't think we broke them until 2017, and then once we broke Nordstrom online, you know, just store after store. I would hit up Bloomingdales, Barney's, tell them, hey, you know, we're blowing out in Nordstrom. You got to take our stuff in. They're like, all right, if they're in Nordstrom, they must be pretty legit. And you know, it was just momentum. Keep building the momentum, and we were able to break a lot of retailers. Like Nordstrom, we were in Macy's, we were in Bloomingdales, Barney's, we were in before they closed up. Small bit of Neiman Marcus, and Saks Fifth Avenue.
How'd you get on the cover of GQ?
I did a trade show. I'm just hanging out at the show, and some older lady comes by with like these big dorky glasses, and she strikes a conversation. She's like, oh, I love your jewelry, where is it made, this and that, it's sterling silver. I start talking to her about the brand, it's Degs and Sal, being all friendly and nice, and I have no idea who she is. She's like, oh, my name is Madeline Weeks, and I work for GQ. I was just like trying to play cool. I was like, oh, cool, no issues. Yeah, GQ, that's awesome, good for you. And I remember I actually wrote down Madeline Weeks GQ. I still have that notebook where I wrote her name down, and I was like, all right, I gotta go find this girl now. I have no email, nothing. So I start LinkedIn and searching. So it's not so hard, but it's, you know, it's gonna be Madeline.Weeks@GQ or mweeks. You know, you just gotta figure out the format. So I tried a bunch until like I didn't get like a bounce back message from Outlook. I knew I was like, all right, so then I started following up with her weekly.
Did she respond?
No responses in the beginning, which was expected in, you know, the business world. Yeah, so I just followed up like crazy with her until I finally got her to like agree to like.
And you were just emailing her saying like, can we meet?
Yeah, I think her email back was like, I'll meet with you if you stop annoying me. I think maybe was her email back, and she gave me like 20 minutes of her time. I went up to their office, I dropped off a bunch of samples to her. Like, she asked me like, hey, is this your ring, and how much is it retail for? And I was like, okay, yeah, that's our ring, it's $195 or whatever it was. I opened my Instagram like 3 weeks later, and I see Justin Bieber literally like this, with our ring right there. It's like plain in sight. First cover, I was flipping out. Sales immediately spiked. So actually we got another GQ cover, Mahershala Ali on the cover wearing a turquoise necklace. So like 2016 we got a cover, 2017 we got a cover.
Wait, what about Westbrook?
Same thing, I open Instagram, boom, Russell Westbrook, clear as day, shirt off, wearing a black beaded necklace.
What happened in 2018 with the marketing agency?
So 2018, a big challenge for me was, I don't know anything about marketing, like zero about marketing. So I just kind of signed my life away with this agency. So you're trusting them with spending your money, and then you have to spend money on them spending your money. Like, just like trusting them blindly here with my money, which is what I thought the agency was there for. After, you know, just clearly looking at the balance sheet after 3 months, it was all in the red. We lost a lot of money.
People could look at you and say, you're very successful today, you must have made all the right decisions to get here.
Right.
But really, these were like pivotal mistakes.
Right. Yeah.
And you lost a lot of money, you lost a lot of confidence, you really screwed up a few times, but it didn't matter because you, as long as you figured out how to get back. Yeah. So like the mistakes we made, like if I had someone holding my hand along the way, they wouldn't have been made because they were really like foolish mistakes. Like if I like had someone that knew e-commerce, there would be no money lost. If you know, just like that's just one example, but you know, the mistakes was a hard way to learn to do something, and I don't think I would have learned any other way.